Good evening everyone and welcome to the fifth round of Division 2 Season 11 here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Yeah, hopefully another exciting race in store for us today. Of course, last week's Las Vegas Grand Prix with Sully taking the Drivers' World Championship lead, putting us in an exciting position for for the fifth race of the season now. We are close to halfway through already. Only 12 races in the season. We've shortened the season length from 16 to 12 for season 11. So yeah, we are already close to halfway through, and the championship contenders are starting to emerge. We've got the top five of Sully, Shormul, Marco, Porcher, and Tyler within 26 points, and the next driver behind them is 41 behind Sully, which would be Kevin in P6. So yeah, it's looking like those top five of Tyler, Porcher, Marco, Shormul, and Sully are presenting themselves as the main challengers for this Drivers' World Championship early on at least. First driver on the track here is Tyler, one of those five I just mentioned, and I'm actually going to quickly check the stream audio. Okay, yes, it's all working correctly. You can hear me, you can hear the game. Just as it's supposed to. Okay, so being told we'll have a dry qualifying and then we will have a wet start, but it will dry up over the course of the race. That could be very interesting then to see the strategies drivers go for in that scenario. Yeah, especially a wet start could be quite fun, and then it drying up over the course of the race is gonna open up some strategic possibilities for the drivers. So we'll see how that plays out. Tyler, the first one in this qualifying session, who will start a lap here. He's approaching the Wall of Champions chicane. Of course, plenty of drivers, plenty of big names have been called out here. Of course, that's where it's got a name from, Wall of Champions. Pretty much anyone who has been a big name in Formula 1 has crashed at this corner. And we'll see if any more names are added to that list today. Tyler, nice line through turn 1 there, taking a lot of that curb on the inside and all of the track limits pretty much. I'm expecting the pole time to be a low 110 or a high 109. I think that's reasonable. I think what I saw in time trial, the fastest time I saw from the Division 2 there was a 9.9. So I'm guessing it will be a bit slower than that and be in the low 110s. But of course, maybe someone who isn't practicing in time trial went even faster than that. So Tyler here, with what looked like a solid lap so far in the Alpine, wants to continue his challenge for the World Championship. 42.4 in the middle sector. Of course, purple, as he is the first one to complete the middle sector. Stays in second gear out for the exit of turn 10 after the hairpin. And now Diaz open for the final and probably the most crucial corner of this lap. You can gain so much time here and you can lose everything as well, depending on how you take this corner. Let's see, is he being cautious? No, he's taking it fully. All the track limits on the first part and then all the way up into the wall on the second part. Maybe a bit, not as much speed carry as he could have. 11.0 by Tyler. I would say that's not as good as what I expected from him. I thought he would have more pace than that, but I guess we'll see how that compares to the others in just a moment. The next one across the line is one of the Red Bulls, which is Pocho. 42.2 in the middle. I think that's 2/10 up on Tyler. We'll see how he takes the final corner. He stays a gear higher, carries more speed, but doesn't take quite as much curve on the first part as Tyler did. And Pocho puts in at 10.9. Very close though between Pocho and Tyler. His teammate Marco into P3, 11.6. So Tyler's lap actually not seeming that as big as I thought it was originally. 11.3 now. So maybe those time trial times I saw are much faster than anything these guys can manage in session, but we'll see. We've got Sully coming up to the line on his first run here. It's a 1:11.4 into P4 for the Mercedes driver. Good shot, the next one across the line, 42.3 in the mid-sector. It's 1/10 off Pocho. He's looking at the sort of range where Tyler and Pocho are as well. 11.1. P3. 5-race skip penalty now for BS Gabi after a collision with Falk apparently. They are both on an outlap, so I'm not sure what happened here. BS Gabi's in the runoff, so the hairpin. And that's gonna really hamper his qualifying, of course. Wherever he starts or wherever he finishes in qualifying, he'll get 5 positions added. Yeah, no idea what happened between those guys. But the game deemed Gabri at fault whatever happened and gave Gabri a 5th place penalty. Kevin now 11.1 into P4. Nathan as well with the 11.3 into P5. Missed those two going over the line. Sharmul, meanwhile, on his first run here, he's coming over the DSGT down towards the World of Champions. What was his signal time? Well, I can't see. So we'll have to wait and yeah, just see where he ends up. We have no indication beforehand. Looked like a good line through the last corner though. Is he gonna be in the 111s? Yes, 11.1. Close though to the 110s. 11.143, very close there between the top 4 really, the top 5 really. Pocho 10.9, Tyler, Kucho, and Tyler 11.0, then Kucho, Sharmul, and Kevin 11.1. So already looking quite competitive on the Pinky and Thog, each invalidating. BS Gabri currently on his run here. After the incident between him and Thog. Just gonna hope he can still salvage a halfway decent starting position. Of course, he would have hoped that he could be a bit towards the front. He hasn't the best of starts to the season, but he's shown good pace. Of course, he was second in championship last season. Currently he's 7th, so he's certainly gonna want to fight back and get back towards the front towards the end of the season, and maybe even challenge for those top places in the World Championship. 11.2 there in the end. It's a P6 for now, which will of course turn into a P11 towards the end of the session. At the moment I think nobody actually is on any kind of push lap. Pinky might be starting one now. He goes through turn 1 there, but he's being very cautious through turn 2. Goes up into the grass in the exit and has a terrible exit because there are a lot of wheel spin going on there. I think he's now abandoned the lap as well. Thog as well invalidating, so he's not going to be improving anymore. And also letting the Ferrari of, not BS Gabri, Mihai pass. But yeah, seemingly nobody at the moment really pushing. Gabri is now spun around here. Has hit the car pointing in the right direction again. His teammates can fly past him here. Thankfully, of course, Mihai not hot lap, neither anybody else. No risk of him blocking anyone. Pinky, is he pushing? No, he's not. Did indeed abandon the lap, no one using any ERS. So he might try and go again at the end of this lap. We can go back to the pits, refuel, and get some fresh tires on. Tyler is not starting the second run though. Needs a bit more than a tenth to beat Pocho at the front. He's half a tenth down in the first sector. It's not the best start to his lap. We'll see if he can find some time in the middle and final sector. The air is open. Down towards the turn 8 and 9 chicane. A lot of chicanes in this track. Which of course, it's probably in the, I would say, this one is also one of the harder ones in the track. The turn 8, 9. The curb on the first part is very bumpy, but you have to take it. You gain so much time by going over it. But it's very easy to unsettle the car and just spin around. Exactly what happened to George Russell in the real-life Grand Prix at Canada. He crashed at an exact corner. It's not a corner you think of when you think of difficult corners in the track. You probably think of the World of Champions. But I would say it goes under the radar a bit. Tyler now abandoning the lap, thinking he can improve. He might have been able to find some time in the final corner, but apparently he was down by enough that he thought he shouldn't even bother. Kucho now just to go on board and validating as Pocho gets disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. Pocho! He will now start from last place! What has Pocho done? Wait, he blocked the pit lane, but how? Has he spun the pit exit maybe? Well, either way, Pocho's qualifying is over, he's P13. A nightmare for Pocho here. From pole position to P13, he now has all to do in the race. That's gonna be a mammoth task for him. Mihai 13.0 into P9. And everybody else will now continue to improve. Yeah, Pocho, no matter what happens, he will be down in P30. Well, P12 at best. With the penalty of BS Gabri. If he finishes 8th or below, he'll be behind Pocho. What a shame for BS Gabri and Pocho here to get those penalties or those qualifications to ruin their qualifying. Sully, very nice lines to the final corner. Really attacking and sending the car in there. And that's a 10.866 by the Italian. Onto pole position. Great lap, even beating the lap that Pocho had earlier, so even with, of course, assuming Pocho wouldn't improve at all, but now Marco, 10.7! Going even faster than Sully. So the times are really starting to come in now. We're getting closer to the sort of times I predicted we would see. I thought we'd be seeing low 110s, we're still nowhere near that, but Of course, still 8 minutes to go, probably 2 runs at least for each driver, if they want to, but probably only one actually possible in terms of the tires left. Currently on board with Nathan McIntyre here. We have purple in the first sector apparently, but I can't see the delta time. We have to wait until he crosses the line in sector 2. Oh, but it was slide through turn 8, exactly what I talked about, the curb unsettled the car. So he jumped over that curb and he's up by 4/10, so a solid lap from Nathan here. He's looking at a 10.9 here possibly, which would put him all the way into P3, but he had a big slide in the exit that happened, probably lost him some time. But you can see how close the grid is. I mean, yeah, from Tyler to Nathan, from P3 to P8 is currently 3/10. Not even, 2.5 more like. And now Nathan into the final corner. Dia is open. Up to the line, the AlphaTauri driver. Where is he gonna end up here? 11.009. Does go into P3, but he lost a 10th in the final sector. So he has even more time in him. Sean Moole meanwhile up by 2.5 tenths as well. He's currently in P6, those 2.5 tenths could put him into P3 here. Kevin up by 3 tenths as well in the first sector alone. What is he after the second sector? Still 2 tenths, he's lost a bit of time in the middle sector, but yeah, also looking at a 110 here. So everybody really finding a good one of time now, which will yeah, get the field even closer together at the front now. Sean Moole keeping the lap valid from the final corner, and it's gonna be a 110.692 pole position for Sean Moole, at least provisionally. Kevin's in the final corner, Dia is open to the line. What will it be? His teammate got provisional pole position earlier, he gets 11.1. Not the best final sector apparently, he was up by a lot more than that, and he well, matches Kuchu's time, both them 11.105. Here's Gabi now on the second push lap here, 1/10 up with the car ahead of him. That is the Alpine of Tyler, I think it must be, who himself's in the hot lap, so hopefully BS Gabri does not run into the back of him, but I think the gap is just about big enough to prevent that. BS Gabri might even get some slipstream here on the straight leading into the Wall of Champions. It's up by 29,000 per second. Of course, he might be getting distracted by Tyler or getting dirty as well. Tyler now with a massive improvement there, 3.5 tenths. Tyler could be on to beat Sean Moole's 10.6 there at the front. Steal away pole position there with 5 minutes to go in the session. Into the final corner, Tyler goes all the way down to third gear. And over the line, what will it be? 110.681, and he does go into pole position. BS Gabi 11.202. Meanwhile, Thog, what will be his first valid run. Pinky 11 Soap as well, coming into the final corner now for the Haas team. And coming up to the line, where's he gonna end up? 11.417 into P9. And Thog as well now into the final corner. Very cautious there through that motion, which again didn't look particularly fast, I have to admit, and it's gonna be a 113.455. Marcelio as well has not completed the lap so far, he's currently in P12. Kucho is 2 tenths down in the first sector on his next push laps, he's not going to improve at this doesn't look like he has to find a lot of time in the middle of final sector here. Oh, Fox in the wall on the exit of turn 3 it seems. Where is he? He's reset the track now, but thankfully nobody's anywhere near him, so he hasn't blocked anyone. We'll have a look at Marcelio's sector times here. Through the middle sector, what's gonna be 43.5? Goes all the way down to first gear and doesn't get the best of exits that happened. But Dia is now open for the McLaren. Going past some of the Alpines there, who is warming up for his lap. That would have been Tyler probably? Or Thog? Tyler. And now Marcelio into the final corner. Dia is open for him. And a 112.778. Beating Mihai, but by 3 tenths, but quite some way away from Pinky. So it seems like we have kind of 2 fields here. We have the current top 9. And then we have Marcelio, Mihai and Thog, who are pace-wise, at least at the moment, in qualifying, not able to keep up with those guys. But of course, we'll see how that ends up in the race. Especially, I would say Marcelio is one that always tends to move upwards in the race, despite seeming like he doesn't quite have the pace in qualifying. He just does a very good job at yeah, racecraft, consistency, and also finding some good race pace. Because conserving his tires, all that stuff. Although conserving the tires isn't much of a thing on the F1 game. At least I don't think it is. I don't consciously tire save. I don't think many people really do. Fox saying he was stuck, that's why he used to use the track. Yeah, all good, all good, all good. The reset track penalty is only in the race. Just checking the live stream chat as well, and we have Pocho in German saying he was disqualified because he was letting Sully pass. So I guess what must have happened is that Sully was in a hot lap and he was coming around turn 1 or something like that, and Pocho decided to slow down the pit entry to ensure he wouldn't get in his way. And because he slowed down too much, the game decided to disqualify him. That is really, really unfortunate for Pocho. And his qualifying ruined in that way. So he is now going to have to do a last first challenge here around the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve. He has 35 laps to make that happen. See how far I can get forward through the field. And with the rain as well, that will be a lot more difficult to overtake. No DRS, of course, until the rain stops going down. Kevin now in his final run here. He's just going through the first 2 corners now into turn 3. Let's stay on board with Mercedes. Very nice line through turn 3 there, all the way on the inside curb, on the white line pretty much. But he's still down by 74,000, so that earlier lap he did must have been very, very strong. And now Diaz open here, gets some slipstream from the Ferrari up ahead. And down into turn 8 and 9. Takes a good amount of that curb, car slides a little bit, but he gets it under control relatively quickly again, doesn't lose all that much time on the exit. And is he up now? No, he's up, down by 1.5 tenths again, so that first lap that he did must have been very strong, because he can't seem to equal it with what seemed like a very solid sector 1 and 2. But I guess we'll see if maybe he can find some time in the final sector here. Down to the wall of Champion Chicane. Is he able to improve on his previous best? 11.105 in P7. Oh, into the wall! And that's invalidated. Kevin is done. That's his qualifying over. 11.204. Wouldn't have improved anyway. Meanwhile, Marco is up by 8 tenths? What? No, he isn't. Okay. 53,000 now. But Sully, coming down in the final corner, he's up by 1 and a bit tenths. Looking to beat Marcus in that P3. Maybe Xiaomu, maybe even Tyler. Can Sully steal away pole position right at the end here? Of course, those other guys will still do one more lap. Very, very aggressive through the final corner as well now. And up to the line, Sully, 110.677 into pole position by 4,000 of a second. Faster than Tyler for now. And Xiaomu not far behind either. Xiaomu currently on the lap. Marco, currently 10.747. There's only 4 drivers in the 110s. Nathan as well on his final lap now. Marco is down by 4,000 after the middle sector, so he must have made a massive mistake. Pinky 11 so much breaking into the top 5 now. 10.689, splitting Tyler and Xiaomu, who are already very close together. Into P3, Marco coming up to the line. What will it be for him? Is he going to be able to improve? No, he isn't. He's going to try one more time though, but he's very low on ERS, so probably not going to be able to improve much. Nathan, he's down by 46,000. Here's Gabriel, he's coming up from the final corner. He's up by 2.5 tenths here. But of course, with the grid penalty, he's going to fall down quite some way. At the moment, he'll be starting in last position. And he's actually slowing down. So Gabi abandoning the lap here. Gabi deciding, I guess he wants to start from last. Marcello is up by 4 tenths. Mihai is invalidated. Sully is done. Tyler down by 23 thousandths. Sean Mull up by 3 tenths though. Sean Mull with a massive improvement here right at the end. Coming up behind Mihai. Sean Mull could take pole position here if he just gets it over the line. He's up by a massive amount. He can take it. He can take it safe now. He can play it safe. He knows he's so close to pole position. It's only 15,000. He's up by 3 tenths. If he just doesn't invalidate here. Oh no! Mihai has crashed right in front of him. But does Sean Moore still have enough time gain here? Despite that, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He would have had pole position for sure. He was up by so much, but he had to avoid Mihai. And that cost him enough time to prevent him from taking pole position here. Tyler's invalidated, Pinky's done. That's it! Qualifying is over and it's Sully on pole position here in Canada, followed by Tyler and Pinky. What a close qualifying there. The top 4 split by 15,000 of a second. And how unfortunate that was for Sean Moore. A guaranteed pole position taken away by a car on an invalidated lap, crashing into the wall of champions ahead of him. And there we go, look at those gaps in the front. plus 003, plus 1, plus 0012, plus 0015, and then plus 0070, and Kucho as well, only 115 behind. What a close grid in the front there. Amazing. Sully from Tyler, then Pinky, Sean Mull, Marco, Kucho on P6, Nathan P7, Kevin P8, Gabi P9, also with a good penalty. He's gonna drop behind everybody and he will start from 13. Facelio then takes P9, Mihai P10, Thog P11, and Pocho. Disqualification. He would have been P7 with his original very first lap. Chances are, of course, he would have improved even more and could have probably attacked for pole position, I would say, even. So we're in for a very, very exciting Canadian Grand Prix here, I think. The pace looks so close together here, and we have quite a few drivers. Gabi and Pocho, I would say, are ones to look out for at the back of the grid, who are gonna try and fight their way through towards the front and try to compete for those top spaces. And there we go. It is indeed raining. This very much looks like intermediate conditions. I don't think we'll be seeing any full wets. Of course, the big question is how long this rain will stay out for. Whether drivers will adjust the setups in any way, maybe increase the front wing, increase the tire pressures. That's all they can. That's all they can do, really. And actually, what they definitely should be doing if they don't run ABS is move the brake bias forward by a bit to prevent rear locking. It's a big problem in the red. That they can do. Apart from that, I don't think you can do much on the Park for me. Front ring, brake bias, and tire pressures. That's all you can do. At least I think so, unless I forgot anything. Oh, there we go. We're already starting. The 5 red lights are out. And we're on the way for the Canadian Grand Prix. Sully looks like he got away well. Tyler is alongside him to turn 1 though. Can Tyler hang it around the outside? He's trying to make contact. Oh, they make contact, and Sully has been spun around, but he caught it. He's dropped quite some way back now, down to P5 there. Very unfortunate for Sully, the contact with him and Tyler. Thankfully though, he caught the car. Race isn't completely over for him. Tyler takes the lead. Shawmul into P2. Pinky and Marco battling for P3. Big slide by Pinky, and Marco now manages to take advantage and slide through up into P4. Meanwhile, the two Mercedes battling for P5 here. Kevin trying to go around the outside. Oh, an incident! Oh, it's Tyler around, I think. Yeah, Tyler and Shawmul, it seems, are both around there. Maybe made contact. Shawmul out of the race. Kuchar out of the race. What happened? They're both in the wall on the exit of turn 7. And they're both out. Safety car's been deployed. Race been neutralized. Marco has taken the race lead. Pinky into P2, Sully P3 after all that, Kevin P4, Nathan P5, Pocho, the biggest winner of that race start, already up 6 places from P12 to P6, Thog as well into P7, 4 places up, Gabi 5 places up into P8, Marcelio into P9, Tyler and Mihai as well well, especially Tyler dropping 8 places there with an incident between him and Sean Mull. Of course, the biggest losers I would say are indeed Sean Mull and Kucho with the DNF there. Very unfortunate to be out so early in the race. Chicken tires, yeah, everybody is on fresh inters, of course. Let's see if anybody decides to make a pit stop. I don't think we'll be seeing any pit stops unless somebody has wing damage. Marcelio's going in, so maybe he does have wing damage. Which now, of course, leaving the session makes sense. He wouldn't have any reason to stick around. And indeed, there's a wing change coming for Marcelio. Yeah, the front right end plate is missing. So he's gonna have 1 lap for sure intermediates and everybody else. I don't think there'll be much of an advantage, but worth mentioning. But he's now dropped down to the last place, 11th in this race. So yeah, I'll see if any doubts said anything, if they... What happened there. I would like to know if somebody has... Nope. Nobody said anything, so I am... Oh, somebody's gone off there. Nathan has gone off at the chicane, and Pocho took advantage, but he has to give it back. Pocho tried to be sneaky and get the position after Nathan went off at the chicane. However, the game does not allow that. I guess Nathan was back on track early enough. Safety car should be in now. Oh no, Marcelio hasn't caught up yet. We'll have one more lap of safety car running, sorry. Rain doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon, so I don't think we'll be seeing anyone box for dries under the safety car. Question is of course when that rain will go away. I've been told it will go away. But yeah, for how long will we be under wet conditions here? Once that rain goes away, I think we'll be seeing people pit rather soon. And then they have plenty of options as well for the strategy. Do they go soft, mediums, hards? How many stops do they make after the rain comes down? Oh, there's a winglet flying! Someone just got wing damage. I think it's Mias Gabri. Nope, sorry, it's just because the wing is black. It was like camouflaged quite well. Gabri's wing still seems to be intact. Who got wing damage there then? I didn't see who it was. Was somebody further towards the back? Marco is fine. That's fine. That's fine. Didn't see. Well, I wasn't able to tell that, but I'll keep trying to find out who got that wing damage. Tyler, I think. No, fuck, wrong Alpine. Yes, look at that. The front wheel end plate on that Alpine is completely gone. If I go on Pocho and look back, fuck is following very closely, but you can see left hand side for us, and front and right hand side for the driver. Fox end plate is missing. He ran to the back of Pocho, I assume. Hope nobody else has any wing damage though, but it was only him. Safety car will be coming in now, so Thok is gonna be in big trouble here. He can't pit now. Well, he can, but he's gonna drop a full pit stop of time. He doesn't get to catch back up to the safety car before it comes in. Safety car has indeed been called in. Marco now setting the pace through the final sector. He can decide when to restart the race. And I'm sure he'll be communicating as well with Pocho to let him know when that will happen and give him a bit of an advantage over the cars around him. Maybe Pocho can jump a few cars off the restart that way. And they're keeping the tires warm by applying the brake. Of course, when the brake is warm, the tires will be warm. Coming up to the final corner. Safety car is back in the pits. He could go at any moment. And he has decided to go now. And he has caught Pinky off guard quite well there. Pocho though hasn't been able to attack anyone really. Nathan was quite close to Kevin there for a bit, but he hasn't been able to follow through the final corner. Sully there already dropping back by a second to Pinky. Kevin putting pressure on his teammate in turn 1, but he's too far behind to go for the move. Pocho meanwhile having a little look at Nathan. And he's a bit too far behind. Nathan though still leaving the space. Tyler and Gabri battling in turn 1. Mihai trying to attack his teammate as well around the outside, but he isn't actually able to stick in there. Or maybe he just opted not to attack his teammate. The position's mostly staying the same off that restart. Marco already building a pretty solid gap at the front over a second and a second as well to Sully. Meanwhile, Kevin is following quite closely. Tyler moving past his teammate for P7. Not sure if that's team order with wing damage or if Tyler just went past him. Pocho quite close to Nathan there. He's going to want to go for that move and continue his charge in the field here. Already with the amazing start on the first lap, and now Nathan with a big slide. Good chance of Pocho perhaps to send one into the hairpin. Is he close enough to send it? He's gonna try it. He's alongside into the corner. Nathan squeezes him all the way to the apex. They're side by side in the exit. And it looks like Nathan on the outside line has the better exit as well this time. But Pocho is not gonna give up on this. He's burning overtake mode. And he's gonna go to the outside line here, or to the inside actually, as Nathan moves back to the outside. Out there now side by side, down at the wall of Championship chicane. Can this go well? Pocho on the inside. No! Doesn't get past, and he actually goes all in over the curb there with a terrible exit now. He's vulnerable to Tyler. Falcon out in the pit lane. Gabi moving past him. Mia in the pits as well. Tyler now attacking Pocho in turn 1, sending it on the brakes. They make a bit of contact. Tyler goes deep. Pocho as well is still there on the inside actually. And now on the exit of turn 2, Pocho squeezing him all the way to the right line. Contact made as Tyler makes a bit of an overstay moment, and Pocho goes off now through turn 3 and 4, gets the 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. He does reach on ahead of Tyler. Nathan is now out of the race, and another safety car has been deployed. The second safety car of this race already. Nathan losing it through the fast turn 5 there, which is in the dry, not even a corner you think about. But in the wet, you have to lift ever so slightly, and I guess Nathan didn't lift enough. Out of the race. And he will not score any points today. We're down to 10 drivers now. Everybody's still left. He's gonna get points here. And Pocho now with that time penalty. Very unfortunate. That's gonna cost him a lot, I would say. With how close the grid seems to be today. those 3 seconds can be rather crucial. And I'm fairly certain that they will not be removed, because he definitely did cut that corner. And not by only a little bit either, so yeah. Interesting to note, there is no rain anymore. It stopped raining. Will we see people going in for dry tires? Marco isn't going in. Pinky isn't going in. Sully's going in! Kevin? Sully! Drive-through penalty for speeding on a safety car! He broke the delta while pitting. Tyler's in as well. Sully goes for the gamble, but it won't matter as he has to have a drive-through. Sully onto soft compound tires. Tyler on the mediums. Arsenio in as well. But I think we'll be seeing everybody else follow suit next lap. Marcellia now onto the mediums as well. Fok and Mihai have a good chance to pit as well. They saw a few people doing it out of them, so surely they will copy them. No, Fok isn't. Mihai isn't either. They both... Wow, that was a lot of understeer from Mihai there. Opt not to pit. Actually came out behind these guys anyway. The track is still quite wet, of course. So you can see Marcellia already with the slide on the exit. You can see how cautious these guys are being. But with there being no rain anymore, this track will only get drier over time. So chances are that by the time the safety car comes in, the the dry tires will be significantly faster than the inters. So I'd be very surprised if anybody stays out under the safety car. They should surely all pit now. Sully with a massive lockup, and now rear locking as well, spinning around. These guys are gonna have to crawl around the track until this track gets a bit dry. But this will pay off, because the time they're losing right now doesn't matter. They can lose as much time as they want. The safety car's gonna... Oh my god. Sully absolutely can't control himself. Thorpe now with a 5-second penalty for collision Marcelio. I guess Marcelio with the dry tire was struggling to get the car under control and Thorpe couldn't avoid him. Sully with the spin he just had was passed by Tyler. And nobody else coming in there. They're still staying out. The track isn't dry enough for them to go for the gamble apparently. But I don't think it's even really a gamble. It seems so obvious to me that you should make the pit stop now. Even if these guys are struggling like hell right now, by the time the safety car comes in, the track will be quite dry. At least, I think it will be. And there we go, Thok is making the change. Mihai still isn't. Of course, the longer these guys take to catch up on the safety car, which right now, they are taking quite a while as they are having to be so cautious. They're making quite a few mistakes as well. Of course, we saw Sully having 2 massive rear lock moments where he had a half spin as well. But, yeah, they have caught up now. Tyler and Sully at least. Marcelio and Mihai. Well, Mihai probably could be there by now, but he has to be, he has to stay behind Marcelio. He's not allowed to pass him, of course, under safety car conditions. Then Thok is gonna take a while to catch up as well. But I think the safety car will come in regardless of that at the end of the next lap. So, it stays on the maximum of 3 laps. If you haven't caught up by them, you are, yeah, out of luck. You should have hurried up a bit more. But I think they are now starting to struggle a bit like... Thok not getting a time penalty under safety car. That's very, very unnecessary and unfortunate. But I think they are now starting to get the car under control a bit better on these dries. The track is drying out just a bit. You can definitely still see it's quite wet. It's probably too wet for dries still to be faster. But for how much longer will that be the case? By the time we go back to the green flags, will the dries be the correct choice? And how much time will they lose if they aren't? Will it be worth the pit stop under green flag conditions? Is anybody else gonna make the call to come in? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Everybody here sticking to the gun, staying on the intermediate. They still continue to think this track isn't dry enough. And I mean, if they get the call wrong, then yeah, Tyler, Marcelio, and Thok, and even Sully with the drive-through. Although I mean, yeah, Sully with the drive-through is going to lose a good amount of time there. Not quite a full pit stop, of course, as he saves the time of actually changing the tire, but still a good amount of time lost for Sully with the drive-through. He will still be ahead of the guys who run on intermediate right now, if this call ends up being correct though. But yeah, Thok, Marcelio, and Tyler are going to be miles in front of anybody else. They'll be, yeah, a full pit stop ahead if this works out for them. We'll stay on with Thok. He's the only one who isn't currently in the safety car train. We can see how he's negotiating his conditions. at, I guess, close to what would be full race pace. He's probably being a bit more cautious than he would if it was green flags. And he's definitely sliding, he's definitely understeering, he's definitely struggling. But this doesn't look as bad as it looked when they first came out the pit on the fresh tires a few laps ago. Safety car should be called in now. It's been 3 laps, so it shouldn't wait for Thok any longer. Although, yeah, there we go, safety car in this lap, but Thok will catch up before we actually go in. So he's fine on that front. It does still seem like intermediates are the tire to be on. These guys are struggling a little bit, so they lose a bit of time for now. But then over the course of a couple laps, are they gonna lose enough time for it to be worth the pit stop under green flag conditions? Anyway, Marko now, his second restart of this race. He's sitting in P1, going very slowly here. He can decide when to go. Stage car's back in the pits, he could go at any moment. And he hasn't gone quite yet. Still warming the tires, and now he's going. Oh no, he isn't. He's slowed back down. Still isn't going. Now, on the exit of the final corner, very good exit from Marko, and Pinky has been left in the dust. Meanwhile, Kevin and Pocho are already close behind Pinky. Pocho as well, attacking Kevin into turn 1 and seems up the inside. Has a little look. Kevin has it covered though. Oh, Sully is spun around the first corner, locking the rear tires it seems. Very unfortunate, of course, with the being on the dry tires on the wet track. It was a risky call. I guess that was the price he's paid now. Kevin defending on Pocho. Meanwhile, Mihai trying to move past those dry runners. Of course, they are struggling quite a bit here. Tyler, though, keeping up nicely with the guys ahead of him. Sully, of course, well, he's now had his race firmly ruined. Wing damage, drive-through penalty. Yeah, Sully, I would still say it was the correct call. He was just a bit, yeah, unfortunate with the drive-through, and of course then the mistake that he made at the restart. But we saw it happening as well under the safety car conditions already. He had a few rear lockups where he almost spun the car into the wall, just about caught him, but he lost the place to Tyler through doing that. So Sully would have hoped that call would be going better, especially after the qualifying he had starting on pole position. He is now in P10, and unless there's any safety car coming, he's probably out of the running for any sort of, position in the top 5, I would say. Marko, of course, putting the fast in the race now. His track is drying up. The time is start to tumble, but I think the Inters are still fast for now. Tyler isn't able to keep up with Gabi ahead of him. Marcelio not able to keep up with Mihai. But they are dropping back far. I mean, it's 1.5 seconds between Tyler and Gabri. So I think this will work out for them. Sully is now in the pits. Kevin getting a time penalty, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Sully, I guess he's gonna do a wing change now, then serve the drive-through next lap. He's going on to mediums now. So he's staying on the dry tires. He doesn't want to make another pit stop after this. Pocho still hasn't found a way around Kevin. He does seem to be the fast driver at the moment. Marko, meanwhile, at the front, pulling away by 2 seconds. Will actually open up the gap to the leader, because I want to see the gap from Marko to Tyler, because that is the crucial thing right now. Mihai now getting a penalty. How big a gap can Marko build to Tyler while these intermediates are still the fastest tire? But it really isn't by much. The medium runners aren't losing much now. They're starting to gain, I think, even. As Tyler through the hairpin seemed to be a bit faster, although the gap is starting to even out now. The track is drying up quite well. I think this could be a lap to pit. But the front runners are not pitting. They're still staying out for one more run, at least. Of course, the 2 Red Bulls both still being out on track here. There's a good chance they're going to end up double second as well. As Kevin now is going for the move on Pinky, 11 stoppage into turn 1, round the outside, he tries it. Mihai is in the pits. Pocho having a look to capitalize on the battle between Kevin and Pinky, but he isn't able to. Gabi now following very closely, he's caught up. Kevin and Pinky lost a good amount of time. They're going side by side through turn 1. Pocho sending it now on Kevin, but he hasn't been able to pull it off. Kevin is doing a very good job defending from Pocho and securing that P3 on track. Marcelino now with a time penalty. Now Tyler's starting to move through. He at the dry turn point is coming into the zone. He passes BS Gabi as has been enabled. And there we go. I think now the dry tires is the tire to be on. And Tyler has worked it to perfection. He's kept the car under control and he's been cautious, and now he is so much faster than these guys, and they will all have to make their pit stops under green flag condition now. Thok getting the second time penalty of the race. Tyler sends it on Pocho. and moves past him up into P4. Of course, these guys surely will all now make their pit stops. It seems rather obvious that it's time for Dry. Sully in the pit lane again to service drive-through as well, just coming out there. Marco's in. Tyler going for the move on Kevin. But it's rather unnecessary as he's pitting anyway, and there we go. Everybody here is pitting. Nobody staying out, of course. All the intermediate runners coming in for fresh tires. As apart from Pocho, actually. Pocho staying out for one more lap, of course. With Marco coming in, he would have double stacked if he had made the pit stop now. So he's opting to go for one more lap, and he would rather lose the time being on the wrong tire than lose the time waiting for his teammate to get his tires changed. And the guys who pit in the safety car are now miles in front. The gap from Tyler to Marco is 11 seconds. And Marco had a 5-second gap before the pit stop. So yeah, that is how much they've gained now, of course. Marco is still in a good position here. I think he's still probably on for a podium because Pocho was going to pit. He will be into P4 that way. And then he can probably catch up to Thog and maybe even Marcelio. Of course, with both of them having penalties as well. But I have to say, Pocho's doing a good job here keeping up with Tyler. The pace doesn't seem terrible for him. Sully now with his first track limit penalty of the race as well. This race going from bad to worse. Pocho managed to stay in DRS with Tyler all the way. But now it is definitely time for a change to dry tires. He should be coming in this lap. And he's gonna drop a few positions, I think, as well. He was right behind Kevin before the pit stop. Let's see if he ends up behind Gabri. Maybe even behind Nia. How much time has he lost staying out on those dry combo tires? Marco's already caught up to Thog, who is seemingly really struggling. Maybe his tires aren't up to temperature still, after running on a wet track for a while. And Marco now around the outside of Thog into turn 1. To the inside of turn 2. Marco has the slight advantage here, and he does move past him. There's a spin at the wall of It's Gabri at the wall of chicane. He's round, and that means Pocho does still come out in P7. He doesn't actually lose all that much. He's still right behind Kevin. And now on the freshened tires by one lap. Now Tyler lonely at the front. Although Marco does have slightly fresher tires by 6 laps here. How much will that matter? Will it be enough for Marco to close that gap once again and challenge for the race win here? Or is Tyler now secure on that? But maybe as well, I'm fairly confident Tyler is not going to the end here. Maybe Marco can make those mediums last 22 laps. We've seen a few people going for hards, so I assume they're definitely trying to go to the end here. I'm not sure what our tire life on those mediums is in a 50% race. We'll have to wait and see if Marco can get to the end, or if the guys who pinned on the safety car earlier can do it. But yeah, Thog really struggling. He was passed by Marco at the start of his lap. Now the gap is 3.2 seconds. So he's really losing a lot of time each lap to the cars around him. So you have to try and to do his best to hold on. Marco putting in a new fast lap, 16.692. I'll compare that to Tyler's time actually, who put in a 17.3. So Marco gained about 6/10 that lap. If he can keep this up for the entirety of the race, he should be able to catch Tyler. But of course, I think at the moment Marco's tires being completely fresh is enabling him to have this blistering pace, and it will worsen over time compared to Tyler. Faulkner now with his 3rd time penalty already, I think. 4th even, he's on 12 seconds. So yeah, Thog not really having a great time on track right now. He's not able to keep between the white lines. And he's about to be passed as well, with Sully now putting in the fast little race, 15.8 to 1. Look at Thog, how much he's struggling in the awful exit. And Pink 11 so moves past him rather easily. Marco on the back of Marcelio now, he wants to move up to P2 on track here. I thought he would catch him much later in the race, but he's already caught up very quickly there. And there we go. He's alongside with the DRS. It should be a rather easy move for Marco. And he takes P2 in this race. 7.5 seconds now the gap to Tyler in P1. Thog coming back at Pinky though. Pinky and Thog doing a good job to go side by side through the 102 without any sort of incident. But now Pinky the DRS moves back past him. Thog has a little look in terms of he's too far behind. Kevin now is following closely. He's sort of to battle. He has a little look off the inside, but that was never on. So of course he doesn't actually pull it off. But you can see Thog is slowing this guy so much. Kevin is really looking for a gap here. He wants to find a way through as quickly as possible. Thog makes a massive mistake on the exit of turn 4. Kevin slips through and Potro's gonna look for the gap as well. Can he find a way past? Dia is open for now. Thok defending the inside line. Thok is weaving all over the track as well. Potro having a look over the inside, and Thok sends it on Kevin! And it's now massively ruined his exit. Thok, what are you doing right now? And Potro now moves to the outside lines to happen. Thok on the inside, defending. Thok goes way deep. And Potro has to go for the switchback. And this time I think Potro has got it done. Thok with a bit of a slide as well. Slide back over to the right and said, what is happening to Thok right now? He's all over the place. He's trying to come back at Potro. And he is going to come back at Potro. He's around the outside into the final chicane. And he manages to get back up to P6. Getting another time penalty now. But Thok can't seem to keep the car in a straight line. He's moving all over the place. And look how early he's braking. Potro has to avoid him into turn 1. What is going on with Thok? Is he just not in control of his car? What is going on? His tires must be like completely undercooled, or either that or overheating, one of the two. But they wouldn't be overheating, I don't think, after that long of a stint under. What? And now he's in the wall. What a weird crash from Thok. But Potro has finally been released. Virtual safety car's out. But Potro's lost 3 seconds to Kevin in being stuck behind Thok for half a lap longer. That was quite something. I don't really know what to say. Thok now with his entire front wing gone as well. We'll have to make a pit stop, get into fresh tires. This can now neutralize in the race for a bit. Might see some people going to pit stop as well. Not sure if that's an option. If those mediums there on will go to the end. Marco is making a pit stop, indeed, okay. And he's gonna go onto hard compound tires. I didn't think he would be doing the one making the pit stop. I thought it would be one of the guys who were on older mediums who pitted under the safety car. Marco? His tires were only 4 laps old. I guess he thinks he couldn't go to the end, so it makes sense to go for fresh tires. Thok on the pit lane as well, and he retires in the race. Marco comes out in P5. And Pinky 11 stoppage with the drive-through for speeding under VSC. He's running in P3 and he will have to give that position up. Marco's come out just behind Kevin here. And on those fresh tires he should have a good advantage over these guys. He's just in front of his teammate Potro as well. So yeah, drive-through penalty for Pinky. He's probably going to have to serve it as early as possible. Get out of the traffic and make sure that if there's a safety car in 1 lap time and he doesn't pit now, he's going to be kicking himself. So the smart thing to do would be to serve it immediately. That will release Kevin into P3 and then Marco right behind him will probably take the podium rather soon. Tyler's now in! Tyler, 1 lap after the VSC making his pit stop. That's an interesting choice. And for a wing change, Tyler's got wing damage. Not sure when he picked that up, if it was on that lap specifically or a while ago. Pinky, of course, in for the drive-through penalty. Tyler is gonna drop down quite some way here. Behind Marco. Marcelio takes the lead of the race. Marco up into P3 as, of course, Pinky 11 Sorbage and Tyler both looking behind him. Potro on the P4. Tyler coming out in 5th position. Pinky 11 Sorbage after the drive-through penalty still in P7. And now it looks like it's on for the race one here. Marco has a very good chance as he's only just about outside the air to Kevin. And he's on 5 lap hard compared to Kevin. Meanwhile Marcelio on 12 lap old mediums. Only 1 second ahead of Kevin as well. So looking good for the Red Bulls in P3 and 4 right now. They could both be on for a podium because I'm very confident Marcelio can't go with those tires to the end, considering that Marco made the pit stop on slightly fresher mediums, so he thinks he couldn't go to the end. So surely Marcelio can't. Marco already getting quite close to Kevin here, and Marcelio's into the pits. There we go. Marcelio is indeed making his pit stop now, and releasing Kevin into the lead of this race. Marco putting in the new fast lap of the race as well in the process. 13.590. And now he's, well, on penalties he already has P1. But he's less secured on track. get past the Mercedes. But he has plenty of time, because I'm sure Poggio behind is not gonna be doing anything out of the ordinary. And I don't think there'll be it will be a case of he's not gonna pass him at all, but he's not gonna do any kind of crazy moves on his teammate, surely. It'll be if they make a pass, it will be a classic DRS overtake, just flying past him on a straight. Especially considering that Poggio has a time penalty, whereas Marco does not. So even if Poggio does overtake him, it'll be quite a task for him to still win this race. Unless, of course, anybody else in this, or everybody else in the front running group gets a penalty as well. Tyler, on the fresh tires, can't count him out yet. He's only 4 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Marco now making a move on Kevin. And is Poggio gonna try and follow through? He's burning overtake. He wants to follow through to the outside into the wall of the chicane. And he moves past him. And there we go. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Marco in P1, Poggio in P2. Kevin has been passed by both of them on one straight. And now I think they, yeah, looking good for a solid result here. Tyler is the, I would say, the biggest competitor on those fresh tires, putting a new fast lap of the race in. About 3 seconds, well, about 4 seconds behind Poggio right now. Maybe a bit more. But the gap is coming down, of course. Fresh tires. He will have a slight advantage. 6 laps advantage over Kevin, 5 laps over Poggio, and 1 lap over Marco. And with Poggio's penalty, I think Tyler has at least a good chance at least P2 here. Catching Marco though, the tire advantage there is only 1 lap, so pretty much non-existent. That will be difficult to bring this gap back down. I think Tyler just missed the mark. Both Tyler and Marcello really, I think, missed their chance to make a pit stop when that VSC came out, and Marco pitted and they didn't. Oh, Tyler now with a bit of a slide, didn't happen, but he's got it back under control. Kevin is barely able to stay in the ES range with the guys ahead. Poggio very low in ES, but he's far enough away from Kevin to be safe as well. Kevin has absolutely nothing left in the tank in terms of energy. So yeah, those two Red Bulls are now going to try and run away. Probably work together as well a bit to defend from Tyler. And Tyler's going to have to try and find, once he catches up, a way around Kevin as quickly as possible to avoid losing any more time. We are already 21 laps into this race, only 14 laps to go. So we are past our halfway point. And this is probably the final stint. I don't think we'll be seeing many pit stops anymore. Probably Mihai and Sully on those mediums. Possibly the guys on older hards, Pinky, Gabri and Poggio and Kevin. But I think they should be able to go to the end. But I'm very confident that Marco, Tyler and Marcello are definitely going to the end here. But we'll have to wait and see. Kevin is not up outside the ES completely. Poggio still doing well to keep up with his teammate. Those two are gonna try and run away, but make the gap to Kevin as big as possible until Tyler moves up into that 3rd place. And then, the chase will be on. Tyler chasing after those Red Bulls for what will be a potential P2, P1. Everything is still in the cards here in Canada. It's a very strategic battle now. It's sort of a, well, the strategy part is over. We are now seeing how these different strategies play out. Tyler now, he's caught up to Kevin. This will be crucial. How quickly can he get past the Mercedes? Can he find a gap? He's gonna wait for the straight leading into the wall of championship chicane. I think that'll be the best part, the best place to pass. He's too far back on this DRS straight, and then passing it in hairpin doesn't really make sense, because Kevin will probably get him back on one of the next 2 DRS straights. Kevin not getting the best of exits though through turn 8 and 9, and Tyler will now pass the DRS detection point. He is quite close going onto the straight here. Kevin going wide in the exit. Tyler already putting alongside there. But now Kevin with the outside line does get a slight bit of exit. But now DRS open. Tyler already alongside and past the Mercedes. Moves up into 3rd place. The gap to Poggio 3.9. So that is what he has to gain. He needs to gain 8 tenths on Poggio to be in P2. But if he wants this race win, he needs to catch up and pass both Red Bulls in this race if he wants to win. So Tyler is now up against the odds, I would say here. I think Marco is looking strong for a race when Pinky getting a time penalty as well there. Actually, have a quick look at time penalties. We've got 3 for Pocho, Kevin, Marcelio, Mihai, and Solin, and 6 for Pinky. Pinky has caught up to BS Gabi here in the fight for P5. But of course, with Pinky having a time penalty and BS Gabi, at the moment at least, hopefully for him as well, that will stay this way to the end, not having a time penalty. Pinky needs to both pass and build a 3-second gap to secure the 5th position in this race in only 12 laps. So he is, is it 3? Yeah, 3. No, 6 even. 6, even more of a challenge for him. Of course, as well with Pocho being pulled along by Marcus, he's going to be gaining every single time he goes onto these straights, and that could save him. Could secure him this victory. You can see he just gained like a solid 2/10 on that straight. So that would be a difficult task for Tyler to bring that gap back down. I don't think Tyler's going to be able to close this gap up. If anything, the gap is increasing right now. Marco and Pocho doing a very good job at the front there to work together and potentially bring home a 1-2. At least that's what they're on for right now. The only person who can stop them is Tyler. I don't think anybody else is really showing the pace at the moment for it. Kevin, of course, is still within range, I would say, but his tires are even older than Pocho and Marcos. And, well, of course, they passed him earlier, so why would his pace suddenly increase by that much? Mihai is now in the pits for a freshened of softs. So he might have a go at the fast lap of the race so far. That will be a 13.035 by Tyler. So we'll have to wait and see if Mihai can beat that. Captain Tyler's start in the straight is 3.6. We'll now see how this develops with the over the course of the straight. Pocho, of course, is going to be gaining 3.8, 3.9, 4 seconds even maybe. Yes, 4 seconds. So, well, yeah, that DRS really helping Pocho to secure Captain Tyler. And it might be in the end the difference maker here. That Pocho can work together with his teammate and just get carried along in this race. Well, it's Pinky close enough to Gabi to make a move. Doesn't really seem like it. He doesn't actually open the DRS for some reason. Does he have? Doesn't have it? He should have it. He should have had DRS there, but he didn't. For some weird reason. That's interesting. Either he didn't open it, or the game didn't give it to him. Very weird. Very unusual. But you can see on board here, this is currently the only battle happening on track. Sully's now in the pits as well. After 14 laps on the mediums, about time I guess. They were probably quite warm. Going on the softs. He will come out behind Mihai. Now as these guys head over to the third DRS win on this track, Pinky is about 6/10 behind his opponent. He's going to be able to send it on Gabri. He's going to find a way. The ES levels are quite similar, so there's no advantage for anyone really there. Gabri is slightly higher, Pinky's burning a bit. DRS open for him now, and he hasn't activated it this time around. And he's getting quite close into the final chicane. Might be able to have a go there. Meanwhile, the gap between Tyler and Pocho down to 3.1. Tyler almost within the not DRS, penalty range now, sorry. Pinky very close there, 2/10, but he's not quite able to go for the move on BS Gabi unless to stick behind him. And wait. Find a better chance. And of course, once he does get past 6 seconds, the gap he needs. Can he pull that much of a gap as well? I have to have a look behind Marcelio. If he gets within 3 seconds of Pinky, he will get P6 in this race. The gap between Tyler and Pocho now down to 2.6. Pocho is following his teammate very closely here, so chances are he's about to make the pass and move up into the effective, or move up into the race lead. Only 2.5 tenths separating them, and I think even without any sort of overtake, Pocho will move past his teammate here. Marco knows it, leaves in the racing line, and is happy to let his teammate go through. And that's Pocho up into the race lead. Marco now being the one who will be pulled along. As Tyler's running in 3rd place. Closing up though, he's coming closer. 1.8 seconds gap now between him and Marco. As Marco is struggling, he's already 7/10 behind Pocho. Meanwhile, Pinky 11 Swordfish still Very close to BS Garbin here in the running for P5. 3.5 tenths, but he still isn't able to find the move. He still isn't able to find the gap. Just not able to pull alongside. Maybe not quite having the straight line speed he needs. Not sure what is the issue. Or if he's just being cautious since he knows he's probably not going to get his position anyway with his penalties. Maybe it's a case of him thinking, well, there's no point. I might as well just sit behind, play it safe, and bring home the P6 safely. As Marcelio doesn't seem to be gaining much. I don't think Pinky's is in any massive rush either. So we now head back onto the straight here. 8 tenths gap between Marco and Pocho. Marco has capped within the S range. Tyler, 1.7 seconds away. He's burning with overtake. He wants to get closer. He needs to get closer. He's running out of laps here. Doesn't have all that much time to get this done. At the moment, the top 3 would be Marco, Tyler, and Pocho in that order. So Marco is, of course, now extending the gap to Tyler a little bit with that DRS. Sully now moving past Mihai into P8. Down into P6, actually. Very unorthodox overtaking spot. Pinky now very close behind BSKB. Still, once again, not able to go for the move, and now he's had a detrimental. He had his exit out of turn 14 of the final corner. Impacted by that as well, so he wasn't able to go for the move into turn 1. Cap at the front, 1.3. Tyler just hasn't quite broken into the DRS yet, but he's on the edge. He's getting closer and closer. As we go through the laps, Tyler is only getting closer, and will Marco then be able to defend from Tyler to get this race win? What will be Red Bull's strategy here? Are they going to try and have Marco be the roadblock for Pocho, get the 3 seconds that way? Are they going to try and have Pocho hold up Tyler, secure the racing for Marco? What is the play here? Or is it every man for themselves? No teamwork at Red Bull? I don't know what's going on. By the way they are racing, I would say they are definitely working as a team right now. They aren't attacking each other, they aren't battling. They're staying very calm. The only time we saw them swap is when Pocho just went past Marco on the straight after he was very, very close entering the straight and they had no other option. So I don't think these guys are really battling actively against each other, especially considering that the penalty would make it rather a relevant battle anyway. Thok now has live session after, of course, having DNF quite a while ago. Tyler has almost broken the DRS, 1.1 seconds. On lap 29 out of 35, he's almost there. He's almost on it now. Maybe by next lap he will be in within the 1 second to Marco. And that's when it starts to get interesting. The battle for the race win is on. Marco against Tyler. Tyler has caught up. I didn't think he would. I thought the gap was too big. And yellow flags now. And a safety car! Gabri! I don't know what happened. He's lost his front wing. And that's brought out a full course safety car. How is this a full course safety car? Just one front wing loss. Mihai immediately into the pits. What will happen to these front runners? Are they gonna make a pit stop? This is now throwing everything up into the air. We'll have a sprint race right at the end. I think only one of these guys can pit because they could both, but with a double stack. Oh, Marco's slowing down quite significantly here. He's slowing down quite significantly to open a gap to Pocho. And I mean, yeah, that is ridiculous. And Tyler is now going to try and pass him into the pit lane. He hasn't been able to. And there we go, Pocho onto softs. Marco still loses a bit of time on the double stack. I think he's still going to be behind Tyler. He did all that for nothing. I think he did all that for nothing as Tyler takes P2. Marco on the P3, Kevin comes on P4. I think we are going to see everyone come in for fresh softs here. I think Pinky was very close to speeding penalty there. That was very lucky. Of course, Gabri, Marcelio, everybody's in. Everybody coming in for those fresh softs. And this race has just come alive. And of course, very important as well, keep a look at those penalties. Tyler, Marco, BS Gabri, those 3 currently have no penalties. And that will be so crucial with a late safety car like this. It can all get thrown up and down. Mihai actually went for the medium, so I guess he didn't have any fresh softs left. Sully coming in as well. Let's see what he goes for. I don't think he has fresh softs either, as he's currently on one with a fresh set of softs at the start of the race, and he's gonna go on to softs. I guess they're fresh as well, so I guess he didn't use them qualifying. Will he be behind Mihai though? I think he will be. So Sully down to last position on track. And we'll have probably 3 laps of racing, I think, or 4 laps of racing, something like that. I think we'll come in at the end of lap 31. So that will be 32, 3, 4 and 5, that's 4 laps of racing. So a 4 lap sprint at the end is what it looks like we'll be having here. And that of course means a major advantage to all those guys with no penalties. Well, the very few of them actually. Tyler, Marco and Gabri. And despite the safety car, the situation is still rather similar. It's a shootout for the race between Tyler and Marco. So who's going to end up taking the race win? At the moment, Tyler's track position after the double stack that Red Bull's made has cost Marco that position. He will have to re-overtake Tyler on track if he wants to win this race. Yeah, and Sony haven't caught up quite yet. They still have a bit of way to go there. They might catch up by the end of lap 30, so you might have one more lap than we thought. Oh no, that's 31 for these guys. They are just 30, sorry. So yeah, they will be 31 as I predicted, I think, because they are gonna catch up by the time we reach the final sector, or just after that. And then we will be going racing again for the final 4 laps of this Grand Prix. Potro leading the way on track, but the effective race win, or the race win on penalties, or with the penalties applied, sorry, Jesus, how can it be so difficult to express that? It is between Tyler and Marco. Gabri in 7th, well, he has quite a few cars behind himself and the other guys on no penalties, so it'll be difficult for him to actually get involved in that fight. So, Mihai and Sully have almost caught up now. There we go, safety car's been called in. And Potro now is setting the pace here. He can decide when we restart this race. 3rd restart of this race. 3rd time Red Bull is in the restart. The other 2 times was Marco. Now it's Potro. He started last, or 12th. Only in front of Mias Gabri. And now he's 1st. As we head into lap 32. When is Potro going to decide to go here? For the final restart of this race, the final time that all these guys will be right behind him. He's gone now, and he's caught Tyler off guard. Sony getting a time penalty there. Marco following Tyler very closely. Might have a go into turn 1. Can he set one on the Alpine? Is he able to pull alongside? No, he's not. Tyler doing a good job there in P2 defending that position. Meanwhile, further down the field, no active battling going on. Everybody just looking for those gaps, being patient, not wanting to throw it all away after 32 laps of clean running for most of these guys, or at least clean enough that they are still in the race. But Sully is all over Mia. He definitely seems to have the pace on him. Meanwhile, Tyler is following closely behind Potro. Can he find a gap? Can he find a ray around Potro and move up into P1 and pull the car himself and Marco and further solidify his P1 in this race that he has at the moment, on penalties that is. He had a bit of a better exit on turn 8 and 9, and now Marco is a bit closer than he was before, and he's dropped back behind Potro. Potro should be safe here. Sony now moving past Mihai, going a bit deep into turn 10. It's gonna happen. When he takes P8, the gap to Bias Capito is opened up quite a bit there, 1.7 seconds. Potro doing well at the front to secure the on-track lead. Can he continue to defend Tyler here? Tyler is coming close into turn 1. And Tyler gets a penalty! Tyler with a 3-second time penalty! And that just donated the race win to Marco! Tyler, like, half committed to the move in turn 1, had to cut the corner to avoid Potro. And got a track limit warning for that. Well, I didn't have to cut the corner, he like halfway sent on Potro. He wasn't fully committed, he wasn't fully out of it. And I'm not sure if he was alongside at all, if he had to cut that corner to avoid an incident, or if he could have just driven the corner normally. But either way, too much curb on the on turn 1 there. 3rd running of the race, and that's it for pretty much. Marco, well, I don't want to jinx it now, but I was about to say has just won the race. We still have 2 laps to go now. Anything can still happen. He could get a penalty as well. Maybe Potro or Tyler builds the gap by enough. But at the moment it means Marco P1 to Potro P2. Unless... Oh! Tyler goes for the move and Potro moves over there on the straight. Tyler just about caught that car. Great reaction from Tyler, but a questionable maneuver after saving Potro to move over there. making contact with Tyler. And that's certainly gonna go to the stewards, I think. That was dodgy, I would say, from Pocho's side. Moving over very late and making contact on the straight with Tyler. The gap now opening up. Maybe Tyler has some wing damage from that as he seems to be losing some pace here. Or he's just a bit rattled. I have to say I would be. I would be quite baffled by what just happened. Gabby is meanwhile 3.5 seconds behind Pinky. He's not within. Oh, he is within Pinky's penalty range. Nobody else is, so he'll be P5 right now. Not really fully taking advantage of the gap that he has. And there we go, 9 seconds of penalties now for Pinky, so he's gonna drop back even further, probably. Maybe even behind Sully? Marco still following Tyler closely. But Kevin and Pinky are quite close behind as well here. DRS now been activated. Tyler is within DRS range to Marco. And Marco should now be able to actually move past on track here. Is he? No, he does not, as he to be. Tyler still staying in P2. Maybe Marco doesn't want to. As he gets a penalty as well now! What are you doing, Marco? You just had to keep it clean to the end. But he might get the P2 anyway on track here. Sensen on Tyler. Contact made up in turn 1. Bit of shoving. Bit of rubbing. But as they say, rubbing is racing. Marco now on the outside line into turn 3 and 4. What a battle this is between the two of them. Tyler still there, but now Marco on the inside line. On the exit. They're still side by side. Bit of contact once again. Tyler trying to hang around the outside. More contact. And Tyler goes off the line as well. Kevin now trying to slip through around the outside. Tyler being pushed around there a bit. And he's dropped down to P4. Kevin managed to slip through as well. Marco taking P2 on track, and now Pocho is gonna win this race, it seems like. We're on the last lap. And if we look at the penalties, 3 seconds for the entire top 4, nothing will change there. Unless, of course, they all take it heading into the Warframe chicane. Kevin might be able to have a go at Marco with the ERS here. Is he close enough? He has absolutely no ERS left, but Marco doesn't have much either. Is he close enough? Is Kevin able to steal away this P2 right in the end and spoil the Red Bull party? Now Tyler's coming at Kevin into the final corner, trying to get back this podium, but contact made. Tyler's out the fight. And that's it. Pocho wins the race in Canada. Marco into P2, Kevin P3, Pinky getting past Tyler at the end, but of course the penalty doesn't matter. Tyler P4, Pinky P5. BS Gabi P4 actually, as Tyler takes P5, Marsenio P6, Pinky P7, Sully P8, and Mihai, I'm not sure where his front wing has gone, but he's ended up at P9 in the end. And what a race this has been at the end. They went a bit of a down phase before the safety car, but that race came alive at the end. And it's Pocho who completes the last first challenge, but I have to say, that might be provisional, because the move he made on Tyler, on the defense maneuver he made on Tyler when they were side by side on that straight was very dodgy. And I'd be very surprised if that doesn't go to the steward's room. But for now, it's a Red Bull 1-2. Marco in P2, Pocho in P1, and Kevin in the Mercedes following in P3. Getting a podium as well here. Very solid drop from him. Kept out of trouble. Let those guys ahead of him. Let Tyler, Pocho and Marco battle it out. And just pick up the pieces. When they made mistakes. When they, maybe battled a bit too hard against each other and lost on time. Tyler, he leaving the session. I think he might be a bit, might feel a bit aggrieved at that. The tactics on the safety car with the Red Bull slowing down. The very aggressive defending they both made. Tyler, though, the fast lap as well with the bonus point there. So yeah, here we have the full race results. Pocho wins out of Marco. Then Kevin. BS Gabi in 4th place in the end there. With a very, very solid result for him. Tyler in P5. Marcelio P6, Pinky P7, Sully P8, Mihai P9, and then DNFs for Thog, Nathan, Kucho, and Sean Moole. And I have to say, that was a very, very exciting Canadian Grand Prix. I thoroughly enjoyed that race. Hope you did as well, and I hope to see you again on Saturday for the, both the Esports Division and Division 1. The Esports Division at 3 PM UK time. You can Google whatever time that is in your time zone. That'll be the British Grand Prix around Silverstone, and then of course Division 1, our normal league race, will be around Canada as well. So hope you're looking forward to that one. Alternatively, we'll see you next week for Division 2 once again, same time as always, Wednesdays, 7:30 PM UK time, for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope my commentary was enjoyable, and hopefully be seeing you on Saturday, where I'll be commentating myself the esports division and racing in the Division 1, which will hopefully be commentated by BS Gabri and Sully. We'll see if they're available. And yeah, I'll be ending the stream now. Have a good one. Goodbye.